Oh man, it's been since the first, hey? Okay, well, we gotta make up for lost time then. I have water. Right, we finished the part we were in. Which means... Okay, we're still in the middle. And we were learning about the case from 12 years ago. Which is... Of course, there are so many future, past shenanigans. It's not as timey-wimey as the first game is, but they do still like to throw in different... Timeline is the wrong word, but it's kind of the right word. Okay. Ugh. Stretch, stretch, stretch. April 6, 4:51 p.m. Big building, empty lot. Sean. He was my dad, Moo. It can't have been easy to learn the truth about his father's identity so unexpectedly. And too late to even get to know him. You know how hard I tried to find him, Moo. Sean. I get it. He was the president, and he had a lot more to think about than just me, Moo. But he was right there in front of me, Moo. Right there on the set, Moo. So why, Moo? Why didn't he just say something, Moo? Why didn't he tell me who he was, Moo? I'm sorry, Sean. I'm so sorry. Aww, the little hug. It's not your fault, Mom, Moo. It's mine, Moo. If I hadn't broken my promise to you, that fire would have never happened, and he wouldn't have... Moo. I've ruined everything, Moo. Everything, Moo. It's all my fault, Moo. I even ruined your flowers, Moo. Sean, please, you mustn't blame yourself. Just try to be here with me. Just for a little while. The bond between parent and child, as symbolized by the lion lily. I'm no expert, but it's native to Zenfa, so I know that much, at least. Sadly, we don't have the luxury of dwelling on such things just now. I know it might seem insensitive, Agent Lang, but sentimentality won't help us here. We need to focus on what we can do about the case before us. You're right. I believe we learned all that we need to know about what happened back then for now. How did it all line up with your father's theories about the case? I wouldn't know. He took those to the grave with him. He never shared his thoughts with anybody. There's no way of knowing now what he figured out. What about your own thoughts? Are you feeling any more positive in light of what we learned from Kay's reconstruction? Are we any closer to learning what really happened 12 years ago? You know, I think we might be. Look at Edgeworth. He has other people he can be like rival debate partners with. Well, Phoenix is off somewhere else. Oh, I need to get another... Okay, there we go. My father's footsteps are starting to become clear. Now all we need to do is follow them. All the way to the truth. Yeah, to the truth. Oh, we're debating. The real story of SS5 incident. The president went to the orphanage that night. That much we know for sure. The Torosaurus toy proves it. And he must have gone there to meet with Amelie Fenn. Except he was kidnapped, and Alden happened to see it. If Alden hadn't been there, there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. Instead, they had to move his body to the planters and stage that photo to throw everybody off the scent. Okay, this is coming back to me. So that's our current theory, is it? Oh, we got a little file on it. All right. But there's something I still don't understand. There is. This. Why risk staging the picture? They would have had to force the president to play along. What if he hadn't? Well, he's done it in the past, just saying. It's a good question, and we may be closer to discovering the answer than we think. We'll just have to get there one deduction at a time. Yeah, I guess we will. All right, deduce away. Okay, I need to look at I need a refresher. So let's start from the end. So we have the picture from 12 years ago. That's clearly the assassin guy, and that's the president. President has the cow, and the assassin guy's got his dog. Mysterious blood stain. Left on the scene of the murder 12 years ago. The blood wasn't Alden's. Okay, so there's blood at the scene, and it's not belonging to the guy who died. Not Alden's shoes. They appear to have been placed on the feet of the culprit after the murder. Right, so that they can make footprints. One of the children set fire to the orphanage as a prank during the evening before the incident. Clutched in Alden's hand. Right, that's how we knew that the murder happened before the picture, because it was missing from the photo. This is the staged photo. Yeah. And, right, he called Rosie Ringer, who was his girlfriend or wife, something like that. Rosie, it's me. I guess you're asleep. Anyone at the orphanage? Something weird's going on. President Wang is here for some reason, and there's another... Damn it, the light's out, so I can't quite see, but it looks like he's being kidnapped. Anyway, probably nothing, but I thought I should let you know. And then he got caught off. Okay. Victim was struck on the head at 1 a.m. Believed to have been murdered during a call where he was detailing something he had witnessed. Time of death, yeah, 1 a.m. 12 years ago. Loss of blood resulting in a blow to the back of the head with a brick. We found the brick was from the front of the thing. Yeah. Prosecutor was winner, right? Right, and we think the money was why they were digging up in the yard. We think he was looking for the $100 million. Supposed to meet Amelia Fenn at the orphanage. Witness Alden murder was Alf Alden was murdered. His body was moved and staged. Yeah. Okay. The rest of these are from prior to the events. I don't think they'll be relevant here. Okay. President went to the orphanage that night. That much we know for sure. Yeah, we don't even have to press that. Torosaurus toy proves it. He must have gone there to meet Amelia Fenn. Let's press that one. The plushie. It has a recording device concealed inside, correct? It does. And it was used by Sean's mom, Amelie, to record a message asking the president to meet her at the orphanage at midnight. Whoa, you're finishing each other's sentences now. What a team. You two will peel away the layers of truth like an onion. I'm sure of it. You do realize there's nothing underneath all the layers of the onion, don't you, Kay? Could you try to say something a little less unfortunate sounding? Hey, Sam. You two will peel away the layers of the truth like a skin of a wolf. I'm sure of it. Kay, why? Hey, no worries. There's still lateness or on time. I didn't have a specific one. I was just like, you know what? It's about 2 o'clock. I'll give it a go. He said, less unfortunate sounding. Shall I continue? Besides, we're at the first interrogation of the day. And I said, by interrogation, I mean we're having a melding of the minds right now with Lang. She was kidnapped. Alden happened to see it.
Hold it!
Could we go over the details once again? So Mr. Alden saw the president being kidnapped from right by the orphanage. And he was standing next to the snowman. Murderer crept up on him, grabbed a brick, and ow! Eek! Calm down, Kay. We're simply verifying our understanding of the events. Yeah, well, that little outburst just blew my understanding out my eardrums. I know. Wait, I know we have to go over all this again, but can we do it less dramatically? Kay, who are you? You gotta do everything dramatically. Really? Fine. I'm happy to keep answering if you're happy to keep asking. If Alden hadn't been there, there wouldn't have been a murderer. Just a murder, just a kidnapping. Okay. If Mr. Alden hadn't been there, huh? That's an interesting suggestion. Care to explain? There's not a whole lot to explain. He saw the kidnapping, so he's murdered. If he hadn't been there, maybe the kidnapping could have happened without any blood being spilled. But could it? He makes it sound as if Mr. Alden's fault for being he was murdered. That's not what Agent Lang is saying, Kay. What he means is that Mr. Alden was the only person who died at the orphanage that night. Well, of course he was. They kidnapped the president and everything. But the ransom was paid and he came home safely, right? She's right, of course, but why does something bother me about that? I think I might be worth taking another look over the evidence. Finish discussing with your assistant, Mr. Prosecutor? Then let's continue, shall we? Okay, I think I get what they're getting at. Because we know there was other blood.
Objection!
I don't think the other blood means someone was murdered, though, necessarily. Although that is a fair amount of blood, so maybe it does. If you put a body on top of another body's death site, does it contaminate enough that you can't pick out the blood anymore? You're saying there would have been no murder if Mr. Alden hadn't witnessed the kidnapping. But is that really the case? Why wouldn't it be? Their main aim was to abduct the president, right? So if there hadn't been a witness present, there wouldn't have needed to murder anybody. And yet, it remains possible that Mr. Alden wasn't the only person killed that night. There was a large pool of blood between the planters, but Mr. Alden was murdered by the snowman. It can't have belonged to him. What if all that blood by the planters belonged to somebody else? Come on, Mr. Prosecutor. You do realize what you're saying, don't you? I do. It's hard to believe. I'll be the first to admit it. But it's what the evidence suggests. Not just one person was killed here 12 years ago, but two. Dun dun dun. You're saying they covered up a whole separate murder? But whose? Who else was killed that night? Whoever covered up this other homicide did so very skillfully indeed. They even seem to have been able to avoid being mentioned in the files. But they didn't quite get rid of everything. We have a piece of evidence from 12 years ago that they never managed to erase. This clearly shows that something else happened that night. Are we talking about this? Because the assassin's in it? Yeah, probably.
Take that!
Take that! Excelsius Winner tried to shroud the existence of the other murder in the darkness. But there was one piece of evidence he wasn't able to suppress. Thanks to the efforts of your father, Agent Lang. My father. Cast your mind back, if you will. Something else was hidden along with all the other evidence from the crime scene. The existence of the child who set the fire in front of the orphanage. But why would Chairman Winner wish to erase him from the record? Because he saw something he should not have. That's why. He did? What was it? It's right here in the picture. The picture of my father kept. I think we can all agree that the president's on the right-hand side. And that's the Torosaurus toy in his hand. But who's that standing across from him? It's what's his face. There he is.
Take that!
I will never remember this man's name. Like, without it being on the screen. It's quite the name, I will say. Eastern robes and a black dog? That can only be Bodhid Harma Canis. What? That creepy assassin guy? And what would a hired killer be doing in the presence of the president? I can only think of one thing. That's right. It wasn't a kidnapping that occurred here 12 years ago. It was an assassination. Hi! And Warden Lagarde and Chairman Winner were... Yes, I think they were complicit. More than complicit, in fact. One provided the venue for the killing, and the other suppressed the testimony of the child who witnessed it. Mr. Alden was murdered because he witnessed what was actually an assassination. Wow. And not the kidnapping he thought it all to be. Do you think I'm an idiot? How could the president have died 12 years ago? We only found his body this morning. He was alive and well till just recently. Yeah, we even met him. Indeed, we have. A president killed 12 years ago, and a president killed in the last 48 hours. 2 presidents, in other words. Oh no! Evil twin! I mean, probably not. It's probably like a body double thing or something, but... We do know he kept being, like, assassinated a lot, so, like, that wouldn't be surprising. Right, which is completely impossible. Or is it? I think it's entirely possible for there to have been 2 presidents. In fact, that would explain a lot. But regardless of what happened, I still respected him. Zenfar may not be a big country, but he held that place together. The president Agent Lane spoke of was a noble and capable leader. Right, and the one that we met was pretty terrible. No, The presidential mask has well and truly slipped. Entirely unlike the man we met. It really did seem as if there were 2 completely different people. But how could one country have 2 presidents? What could explain a situation like that? This is how it was possible for there to be 2 presidents. They were twins. One was a body double. Mistaken identity. The body double is what I'm assuming. One of the 2 was a body double. Tell me, that doesn't make sense. Body double. President Wang was a man of great power and influence in Zenfar, a figure on the world stage. There must have been countless attempts on his life over the years, such as the one at Gourd Lake only a few days ago. It's true, there were more than a few assassination attempts, but that doesn't mean I'm about to accept that there was more than one president. It would explain why he pushed away your family. Not without proof. Do we have any proof that there was more than one president? Do we? No. This proves nothing. That won't do it. That won't do it. Kidnapped and ransomed. President's presence at the embassy until midnight, confirmed by Da Lon Lang. President Wayne was supposed to meet Amelia at midnight. Okay. Those are the lion lilies. Chess. Right, do any sort of connection between Knight and Canis? As you know, we've been trying to find out who Canis plays silly correspondence chess with. Pulling Knight in my office. You won't admit he's Canis' lackey. You do retrieve the package we laid to rest 12 years ago. I'm sure it's right in front of the planters where we left it. That doesn't... Nothing about karma. The body. No. Gloves. I think I'm getting too far away from the case, because there's something about this that... Gunshot residue. Time of death. Torsion. No. I am unsure what they are asking me to present here. The blood, baby? This proves it shit. No. If you could prove that he ever been in two places at once, that would be a pretty good evidence. Okay. Okay. Was he two places at once? Okay, well this happens at 1 a.m. So we know he was there. MLO, ACJ. I'm trying to figure out how to prove that there is a body double president at the moment. President? He was at the embassy until midnight. Okay. He's supposed to meet Amelia Fain at midnight. Is it literally just that? Because that just says supposed, but... Well, I guess the midnight thing is at the orphanage, and he's clearly at the orphanage, so...
Take that.
This? Oh, okay. Apparently it is. Okay, great. Let's do it. I don't think he's noticed the contradiction staring him in the face. Or is he just unable to accept it? What's the matter, Mr. Prosecutor? You're pretty quiet all of a sudden. In, Amelie Fenn's recording, she asked the president to be at the orphanage at midnight. But it shouldn't have been possible for him to be there at that time. Huh? How come? Because he was supposedly still at the embassy. With your father, Agent Lang. Oh, he's sweating. So he had noticed. The only way he could have been at two places at once is if there were two of him. Oh. So the real president, that was the one who died 12 years ago? I think it might have been. But why? And who? Who would have hired Canis to murder the president? In order to figure that out, we'll need to look again at the pieces of evidence we've recently discovered was a fake. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I think I had a theory last time and I've kind of forgotten it. I don't know the connection between all of this stuff with the president and then the stuff with Gusto's son, who I have assumed is going to be the mastermind at this point because he hasn't been brought up yet. Although they do mention this kid from this orphanage, that was probably him. Because, right, and I assumed that Simeon and Knight were the kids. And they were at the orphanage, so one of them probably saw the event and drew that picture. So Simeon is probably the mastermind. Or at least involved in some way, right? But I don't understand how that's connecting to the case that I'm currently doing. I'm sure it will all make sense. We need to go look again at the piece of evidence and we recently discovered was fake. The fake evidence. What was it again? Right, they're staging the kidnapping, right?
Take that!
The picture was taken of Mr. Alden's camera was staged sometime after his murder. And Mr. Alden was murdered because he witnessed the president's assassination. I'm fairly sure it will. I'm glad you have faith, Sam. In other words, the photograph, too, must have been taken after the real president's death. Oh, okay. So who is the president in the staged photograph? The body double. Nothing else makes sense. Right, because the president was killed at before 1 a.m. We've established this because the blood was there already. And then he witnessed someone kidnapping, quote unquote, the president. And when he witnessed that, they killed him. Yeah, so the president who is still alive is the fake president. And, well, he's not alive anymore. He's dead now. But at the time when this event happened. Anyway, the body double. Nothing else makes sense. I believe the president's double had him killed so that he could take his place permanently. Unfortunately, we weren't bad enough dudes to save the president. I know. It's sad. What is that meme actually from? Like, obviously I've heard that before, but I don't know the source. And Excelsius Winner and Fifi Lagarde helped him do it. Resident Evil 4? Oh, of course it is. I should have known. Because everyone on the planet has played Resident 4 except for me. It's been a joke about Leon, I think. Is it actually in the game, or is it just somebody, like, talking about the game? Wait. You don't even have a body. Oh, wait, this is the wrong voice. Wait. You don't even have a body to support your theory. Are you telling me it magically disappeared? I believe it's talking about it. It's from an old arcade game. Huh. Interesting. Bad dudes. It's just called Bad Dudes. Well, beautiful. No. In fact, we know exactly where it wound up. The president's body was here the whole time. It was? Okay, well, if it's here the whole time, then they buried it. But I thought this was the ransom money. Oh, whatever. It's a hole. Let's just... Hey! It was 1988. Before I was born! I was but... a glimmer back then. Chairman Winner dug something up last night. Something he couldn't trust anybody else to retrieve. We thought it might have been the ransom money, but it was actually something even more important. I mean, I don't know. This is a little bit of a leap, Edgeworth, but I'll go with you on it. I wasn't either. May 1988, aka when I was born. Ah! CJ's been lying to us all this time. He's not 47. Wait, you mean... Yo, that's right. The real president's body. I think it's highly likely anyway. What? The body may have decomposed in the intervening years, but the bones would surely have remained. Mr. Powers informed us that the construction is due to start here sometime soon. Everything had been wrapped up before then. The shooting of the movie and the recovery of the president's remains. Period. Yeah, I guess once they started digging the place up, they would have found them pretty quick, huh? Agent Lang, we need to have the so-called monster footprints analyzed again. Yeah, I guess we do. If there was a body under one of them, there should be trace evidence to confirm it. Hey, get me somebody from forensics. Sir, presenting the findings of our analysis, sir. Traces of human remains were found in the dirt, along with other signs that the body hadn't been buried. So, it really was him? Bones were recovered from the home of the Excelsius winner. The physique looks to be about right, and the dental and medical records are a match. It's him, no doubt about it. Man, they rushed those results. So, as we suspected, the real President Wang was killed 12 years ago. And the SS5 kidnapping was, in fact, a homicide. Dun dun dun! Wow, so it really was a murder, huh? This case has taken so many twists and turns, I'm starting to lose track. Yes, perhaps we should summarize our findings, just to confirm that we understand everything correctly. Good idea! Let's go over everything from the point where the president arrived at the orphanage. Recap time, people. 12 years ago, the real President Wang visited the orphanage. His aim? To meet his infant son, Sean Fenn. The footprints were originally assumed to be those of Mr. Alden. Seems likely to have actually been made by the president upon his arrival. That does make more sense than somebody just walking in the snow with them. Although that's a lot of work to cover up the murder. But instead of being greeted by his child, he was met by the assassin, Bohidharma Canis. That's so sad. He was hoping to see his baby for the first time, only to... Indeed. But at least with Mr. Canis, we can be sure that the job was swiftly and effectively completed. But then, after the assassination, another tragedy occurred. Mr. Alden's murder. Yes, it seems he witnessed a key moment in the evening proceedings. The moment when our culprit, the so-called kidnappers, took the president's body around to the side of the building. That was the sight that sealed his fate. I see. So when they say they saw someone being kidnapped, they actually saw them moving the body. Okay. We've now established that he was standing by the orphanage gate at the time. Far enough away that we believe that he was seeing. What he was seeing was the president's abduction. At which point... Oh, the body double who had come to meet up with his co-conspirators. Walked right up behind Mr. Alden. Damn, the body double ganked him? Leading to our unfortunate eyewitness being murdered by the man who was plotting to replace the president, because he was a bad dude. So was the body double who moved Mr. Alden's body too? Yes, I think it probably was. But none of the footprints could have been his, could they? Actually, I think they could. In fact, we have a piece of evidence that proves how that particular trick was achieved. What shows that the body double managed to move the body without leaving any footprints? It's the shoes, I assume, because they were on Alden's feet, but they weren't his size. What if the president's double moved Mr. Alden's body like this? After killing Mr. Alden, he could have carried him to the other side of the entrance. And given that his job was to look just like the president, he would have been wearing the same shoes. Meaning that if he stepped exactly in the footprints left by the real president, that's a lot of precision. Of course! He would have been in the same shape and size. It would have looked like a single set of footprints. Okay, but body doubles aren't actually identical, right? Like, there's no guarantee he was the same foot size. But I guess we're going with that. So that's how it all went down? I'm so glad we finally figured it out. Wait, but there's one thing I still don't get. There is. What? Why did they need to pretend there was a kidnapping? Mr. Alden had seen the president at the orphanage and left a message on Miss Ringer's phone describing what he thought he saw. It would have been impossible for the conspirators to erase that message. So they had to make it look as if the events described in the message were true. By staging a kidnapping like the one he thought he saw? Exactly. I think the two people in the photograph are likely to be the body double and Fifi Lagarde. If you say so. She's the one in the trench coat? How can you be so sure of that? The two of them would have had to walk out beyond the orphanage gate to stage the photo. The body double could have put his feet in the real president's prints as he did before. You mean backwards? No, the other footprints. Oh, so the other set of prints were hers. The ones we originally thought to belong to the killer, yes. They were about a size 9, too small for a chairman winner, in other words. Which means the kidnapper must have been played by Warden Lagarde. And that explains how the so-called kidnapping was actually the presidential assassination. It does, which means my father must have... He must have noticed. There's no way he wouldn't have suspected a murder. Especially not with the kid's picture as proof. But the picture was never officially put into the evidence, correct? No, he appears to have kept a hold of it after taking the witness's statement of the child who drew it. Yeah, because he knew. He knew President Wayne was dead. and he knew what it would happen if the news ever got out. Zanfar would have been plunged into chaos, no doubt. So he kept it a secret, and that secret died with him, even though it meant taking the blame for kidnapping and our family name being ruined. So your father knew the truth about what happened 12 years ago, but he chose to hide it. Well, it's finally coming to light at last. Sweet. Okay, it is indeed intriguing. Huh? What? Oh, everybody's really excited. Oh, it's him! That sound. Is that a bell? Uh-oh. What are you doing here? Podhida Hama Canis. Doggo! What the heck are you doing here? We're the law. You think you can just show up in front of us like that? It ain't no problem? Forgive me, but I couldn't help overhearing the fascinating conversation you were having. The opportunity to gloat over your past crimes is just too good to miss, I expect. You killed President Wang. I did, but it's not something I'm inclined to gloat over. I was more interested in something else you mentioned. Or someone else, I should say. Someone you're looking for, I suppose. Exactly. That's why I took a little sojourn from the penitentiary. To find a certain young pup. A young pup in a rather eye-catching red raincoat. What? Wait, you know who they are? In a manner of speaking, what did you call them again? A secret mastermind? Oh, right, the one who called us. Gotcha. It's your friend in the red raincoat, of course. Red raincoat? The prosecutor looks surprised, doesn't he, Helmut? Yes, he does. The young pup I mentioned, he saved my life, 12 long years ago. Okay, so this is when we're going to start getting into the mastermind situation, because the kid at the orphanage apparently saved the assassin's life. And if I'm right, the kid at the orphanage was Carmelo's son, who is probably Simeon Saint. Or Artie Frost's son? I guess both their sons. I don't know which one, like, which son belongs to Knight and which one belongs to Carmelo, but I'm going to go with Carmelo's son because that's the more dramatic one. You're just listening to me theorize, Sam? That's a cute Pikachu emote. Are they having a drink? Yes, they are. That's very cute. Oh my goodness, I clicked on it and now it is blocking my entire screen. Oh, there we go. I figured out how to fix it. Cute. Okay, it's time to do a thing. A testimony. That's the word I'm looking for. My unexpected savior. As you may have surmised, it was I who killed President Wang. But that meant that I, too, became an inconvenience in need of removal. The imposter, President Winner, Lagarde. All three were keen to guarantee my silence. Okay. Which is why Lagarde is scared of him. I mean, besides the fact that he's a murdering assassin. And if I hadn't met my friend, the young pup, again, they might even have succeeded. I wonder what he's doing now. So it was the president's body double who hired you? Heh, 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 heh. I remember his words almost as if they were yesterday. You know how many times I've been killed? Not once, not twice, a bunch of times. Why do I have to take all the risks? Why am I the one who they always put in danger? When I'm out there being him, people treat me like I was him. They worship me. So what's the difference? Who's to say I couldn't just be just as good as him? There was a difference, of course, even if he did look and sound exactly like him. Just because it walks and talks like a president, that doesn't make it a president, does it, boy? No. Oh. So he got his wish and became the boss, but couldn't quite fill the predecessor's shoes. Rook's not around. That means I'm number one. I wonder if you have what it takes to step into such capable shoes. You, of course I do. I'm the leader now. Me! Seems the king and his knight were much the same. President Stubble knew that his employer had a weakness, a young woman named Amelie. But in order to find her, he needed to enlist the help of the locals. Locals such as Chairman Winner. Once Miss Fenn had been located, they simply needed to find the right time to lay their trap. I'm starting to go a little bit accenty with him, and that's not the voice. Okay. The meeting she arranged so the president could meet his son? That would have been the perfect opportunity. Indeed. And with the head of the orphanage brought into the fold, their little conspiracy was complete. What in the guard? Now, quid pro quo, where might I find the pup? What makes you think the boy who helped you and our mysterious string puller are one and the same? He set a little fire that night, out there in the yard of the orphanage. Oh, yeah, we saw that. It was some kind of prank, right? A prank? Heh 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 heh. It was nothing of the sort, my dear. No. As I understand it, he had taken refuge in the igloo by the entrance. Ah. From there, he happened to see Winner and Lagarde carrying away the dead body. He also overheard them hatching a certain sordid little plot. A plot to remove me, the only other person who knew what had really happened, from the picture. Thankfully, he was kind enough to come and inform me. I was waiting inside the building, you see. He also happened to mention later on that he was wearing his favorite red raincoat. Ah. Do we have that picture of the... Is it in here? No, they didn't give me the picture, it looks like. Okay. I was wondering if I had the picture of the kids. I don't. In any case, he escorted me from the premises. What is happening? None of my buttons are working. Except for that one. Did I freeze the game? Game? What are we doing here, bud? Oh no! Damn. Okay. What do I do here? I'm clicking buttons and they aren't doing anything. Okay, let me see if plugging in my controller will matter. Okay, well then, I think we're gonna have to do a quick... I don't think it's the controller. I think it's the game because I can click the home button fine. Yeah, it's the game. Oh no. Okay. Well... Who's ready for me to click through a bunch of dialogue real quick to get back to the point we were at? Oh, hi, engage. Yes, of course. That's so weird. It like just froze. Let me just, hopefully it just works now. Or maybe there's an autosave? There is an autosave. Oh my god, we have an autosave, guys! Okay, we might be okay. Where is the autosave from? Oh, okay, okay. Very close from where we were. We're okay. Thank god there's an autosave. Okay, once we get to the proper interrogation, we'll save proper because I don't want to exit this weird recap scene. Okay, okay. I'm so glad there's an autosave feature. Oh my god, that would have taken forever. I wish I knew how to, like, animate emotes, because Doman throwing confetti would be a fun emote in full. Escorted me from the premises, and being a very considerate boy, thought to erase both our footprints from the scene of the crime. Seems he had little kerosene set aside in the igloo just in case for such an occasion. So he spread it liberally around the place and set himself on fire. Or a little fire, not himself on fire. Okay, we're on new stuff. No way! So that's what the fire was for? Must have been ever so beautiful. Winner and the guard were positively enchanted. And while they were distracted by the show, he took the opportunity to usher me out to the side entrance. You never answered my question. You really think he's the one behind this? I do indeed. Don't I, Helmut? Yes, yes, I do. My unexpected savior. Okay, now we're gonna save proper. Oh, I created a new save file. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's fine. I don't usually create a bunch of save files, but we'll do that anyway. Okay. Surmised it was I who killed President Wang. Okay. It meant that I already forgot his entire testimony because he talked so much after the testimony was done. It meant that I too became an inconvenience that needed removal. Imposter, President, Winner, Lagarde, all three were keen to guarantee my silence. And if I hadn't met my friend, the young pup again, it might even have succeeded. Again? I wonder what he's doing now. Okay, he said again. Did he say something about meeting him more than once? Okay, good. Edward's on the same page as I am. Again, so the two of you had met before. Yes, on a cold, lonely Christmas Eve 18 years back. Man, a lot of things happen on Christmas Eve, guys. There's a reason the Phoenix Wright games have the Christmas Eve meme. It wasn't Christmas! Not long ago. But on that occasion, it was I who saved his life. Okay. It was snowing, more than it had in years. Cold enough that death by freezing was a real possibility. I had taken Helmut out for a little walk. He noticed something and bounded off through the snow. When I caught up to him, he was sniffing at the car. The doors had frozen shut. It took all the strength I had, but eventually I managed to open one. Oh, there's the two babies. Pouty boy and a fox face boy. Who do we know who does the fox face thing? Indeed. Inside I found two boys shivering and semi-conscious. Oh, one was tied up. Two. Yes, and I had found them even an hour later. The poor wretches would never have made it. I took them both to a nearby orphanage. Damn, Carmelo, why are you extra bad, Dad, on top of everything? Jesus Christ. Is it me, or is there something significant about what he just told us? I mean, I'm sure there is. What is it about Canis' statement that's especially noteworthy? It's not the car. It's not the people. Well, I mean, the number of people is kind of noteworthy, but... the date? Was something on Christmas Eve? Okay. So this happened in February. I have no dates. The other file? Was this? Oh my god, it was. Of course it was. Carmelo, Gusto, and Artie Frost's sons would visit Danganronpa's mansion up throughout the day of the incident. From the day of the incident onwards, their whereabouts are unknown because they went to the... Okay. Okay, game! I pick up what you're putting down. It's the date. The assassin is Santa Claus. It's just funny you bring that up because recently I started watching Sanda, the anime, which is essentially about a child who is the descendant of Santa Claus. A really weird show, by the way. This was on Christmas Eve 18 years ago. You're certain of that? I am. Holy smokes! We have something that shows why that date is so significant. Which piece of evidence relates to the date at which Mr. Canis found the children? The thing I just looked at. The incident? Yeah, there we go.
Take that.
I mean, he has a wife. Well, in the show, this character has a fiance that they're, like, set up with from, like, birth, I think. It's a real weird world. In order to ensure that it kind of plays on the thing where, like, there's a huge declining birth rate in Japan. So, like, children are, like, coveted and, like, protected. Like, they can't be tried for literally any crime they commit because they have immunity because they're children. And then they're also all paired off from birth so that they can ensure that the human race goes forward, I guess, when they become of age. It's so weird. But yeah, he has a fiance he's been engaged to from birth. Incident occurred, the murder of a well-known sculptor. No way! An incident in the aftermath of which 2 children went missing. So the Catherine villain wins. The sons of the victim, Artie Frost, and the son of the murderer, Carmelo Gusto. Yeah, now they mention it. The little guys did go AWOL, huh? Yes, I've been fixated on this since the 3rd case, so... Intriguing. Nope. Intriguing. The son of a murderer and the son of his victim. I suppose that would make sense. It would. One of the boys was bound hand and foot, you see. That must have been part of Mr. Frost's plan to stop Mr. Gusto's son from getting to the competition. Okay, so that proves that the one bound was Gusto's son, which is the little bowl haircut kid. Maybe that is Simeon then. I assumed it was the other one because they kind of have similar expressions, but I don't know. It could be the other way around. Because maybe Knight died because obviously Knight's dad, if he is Carmela Gusto's son, is the one who killed his dad. So maybe he's just, it's part of the... Anyway, let's stop getting ahead of yourself, Katie. We're going to get there. Indeed, because without his son to taste his creations, Mr. Gusto would have had no chance of winning. So that's what was behind it all. Sadly, neither of the boys were able to remember any such details. They weren't. No. When we met each other again on that night 12 years ago, the pup explained it to me. It seems that they really were on the brink of death when I found them. And the shock of the experience caused them both to lose their memories. Oh, did it now? They weren't even able to remember their names. Okay, is this the justification for why they both don't have their dad's names? Okay. Wow, so they wouldn't have even known if they were Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto's kids? If what he's telling us is true, that would be likely, yes. Which means we still don't have enough to tell us who our mastermind might be. It's okay, but Edgeworth, the list is so small of who it could be. Because as I've established, there is only like 3 people who even fit the age range of who these kids are. And one of them is Larry. So it can't be Larry unless Larry's got a new backstory. Mr. Canis, would you mind telling us what happened next? By all means. Please let it be Larry. Hey, Dill. Counterpoint, Edgeworth is desperately hoping it's different, better potential villain. Let it be villain's plan's downfall. Hi, Chris. How goes Illegal Daystream? It's going okay. There was a second there where I thought I freezed the entire game and would have to restart the whole thing, but thankfully, due to autosave, I only went back a few sentences, so I just had to click through a few. Please don't be Old Bag. Please don't be Old Bag. Do we truly know Old Bag's age? Does the game ever tell you? I feel like that's one of those things where they would put a little question mark. Oh my goodness. You guys, the Autobot wanted to join in too. Thank you for getting rid of that, whoever did. Okay. The puppet eye. The puppet. The puppet and I remained in contact even after I was sent to prison. But then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry. And then people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place. It rather piqued my curiosity, so I thought I'd temporarily regain my freedom and look into things. Just every time, Kate is like, I just took a stroll outside the prison. No one could stop me, so... Oh, wait. The puppet... Okay, wait. What did he say? The puppet and I remained in contact even after I was sent to prison. Okay, so wait. Okay, so the pup that he was talking to was Knight. Because we know that him and Canis were playing chess together. Okay. He's talking about Knight. He's not talking about the other child who is probably Simeon. People from 12 years ago. You mean Lagarde winner and the president, I assume. Well, Warden Lagarde was in charge of the prison where he was an inmate the whole time, right? I fear I wasn't as kind to her as I could have been. But then, she did try to have me killed. You already know why, of course. Because you murdered President Wang. But they needed the world to believe that he was still alive. If somebody had exposed the president as a fake, it would have been bad for Lagarde and Chairman Winner, too. Exactly. And not only that, I happened to overhear something else intriguing that night. I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's only just once. I know you're a very busy man. Oh, this is an Amelie Fenn, isn't it? Anyway, goodbye. Who are you? Sorry, but I'm waiting for somebody. Okay, he was playing the recording from the doll. I gotcha. I know you are President Wang. I couldn't help but overhearing the news. Congratulations. That was not pleasant. What, the bell ringing? I'm sorry about that. But please don't worry about your son. I only kill those I am employed to kill, which in this case means you. Old Bag ran the orphanage FF8 style. I mean, you say that they also established that these kids have no memory who they are, so maybe they did all equip GFs. No. Wait, this is my first chance to meet him. And it might be my only chance. Please, just give me a few more minutes longer. I thought he was going to beg for his life, but no. An interesting character. I told him I was not aware that he had a child. No, he said, and shook his head. Neither was I, but the world will know what I have now. Have one now. I mean to make sure of that. That's why it can't be Larry. He can't get a GF. Okay, but are they dead or not? He can get a GF. He just can't keep a GF. Fair. Yeah, Larry weirdly has a... To be fair, though, most of the girlfriends he gets, we find out were taking advantage of him in one way or another. Because Larry's kind of a easily manipulated dude. Now, granted, often he also kind of deserves it, but sometimes it's just spend money on me, you know, and then it's like, why didn't that work? Neither was I, but the world will know that I have one now. I mean to make sure of it. I even prepared something in case of the worst comes to worse. The son in question, it was the young gentleman with the horns here, correct? Horns? You can see them? Heh. I don't need to, my dear. I've been listening very carefully, you see. You see, I am Daredevil. For longer than you may realize. So the president meant to tell the world about Sean and prepared something in case of the worst. But it's not enough simply to have Canis's word on the matter. Of course. We have something that proves what he's telling us the president said was true. The will. The will everybody knew about. He entrusted it to my family to show his belief in us, after all. The name in the recording, the preparations he had made at his will, With those 3 pieces of information, I was able to convince Warden Lagarde to do anything I asked. With the information at his disposal, he could have exposed the truth about the body double at any time, and Sean's true identity with it. President Wayne was more agile than I anticipated. He had blocked my first night thrust with something soft. The doll, I'm sure. By the time the piece had broken off the hilt, my next strike had hit its mark. So it was Canis who tore the horn off the Taurosaurus doll. I was the only one present to hear his final words. The only one who knew the truth about his son. Well, me. And that poor pup. Dude just wants to talk and talk after he gives his testimony, and I'm like, I don't even remember what you said anymore. Pup and I remain in contact even after I was sent to prison. Yeah, okay. But then I stopped hearing from him, and I couldn't help but worry because he died. The people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place. I'd rather piqued my curiosity, so I thought I'd temporarily regain my freedom and look into things. Okay. Okay, I'll start from the top. So you were able to continue communicating with him from prison? I was, via post office. What's that? It's a means of exchanging mail without revealing one's own address. I never knew where he was, and I wasn't able to slip out and track him down. I was being kept under rather strict supervision, you see. By Warden Lagarde, no doubt. What were the 2 of you even communicating about? We were playing correspondence chess, of course. That and griping about our respective lots and lives. Correspondence chess? But didn't you used to play that with... As unlikely as it seems, Mr. Canis's chess opponent was. Mr. Knight? Yeah, it was Mr. Knight. We found the diagram of the game in his cell, too. Cool, thank you. So, does that mean Knight had something to do with the IS-70 business? Wait, could that be it? Do we have any evidence that might connect Knight to the IS-7 incident? Probably. Sorry, which one is IS-7? Okay, it's this one. Okay, so we're pretty sure that he's probably the son of one of these guys. Right, darling, there's some connection between Knight and Canis. As you know, we've been trying to find out who Canis plays silly correspondence chess games with. Well, now we know. We'll be pulling Knight into my office, thoroughly grilling him. Okay. Well, that seems... Oh, connect him to this incident. Sorry. What is this? His possessions? A pocket chess set and a ring found in the safe in the auction storeroom. Okay. Person in the raincoat planted this inside of the pin. Murder sculptures. White tape. See. No, this is too recent. Oh, the ring. 'Cause the ring was the sculptor's ring, right? Artie, or whatever his real name was. Halik. I wish I could look at the ring, but that sounds familiar. It's rude they don't let you look closer at it. Yeah, so now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that was the... Yeah, Paul Halik. Okay, so that he had the ring, which means he's probably Artie's son.
Take that!
This is everything Knight left behind. Could there be a clue somewhere? A ring and a chess set. Which one should we look at more closely? The ring. The ring! What about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Fender, take a closer look if you would. That design. That's Paul Halik's trademark. Mark. Indeed. It looks like somebody turned the stamp he used to sign his work into a ring. But why would Knight have been carrying it? Also, I didn't know his name was Halik from just sheer memory. I just know there is a literal, like, sculpture making company called Lalik. And I remember that because I kind of sell them on occasion at my workplace. So the pun, I don't know if pun's the right word, but the alt name, like branding name, stuck in my head more for that reason. But why would Knight have been carrying it? Okay, so Katie is cheating. Yes. My job knowledge helped me remember his name. So why was it not with the rest of the evidence from the IS-7 incident? They tried to release Frost's personal effects to his next of kin after the case wound down. But if I remember right, old Frosty boy didn't have any family aside from his kid. And the kid was missing. So they never got the handed back to him. Not till later, anyhow. I heard on the grapevine that they found him in the end and gave him the goods.
including the seal, it would seem, which he turned into a ring and wore until his own death. Da, 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 da. Updated. So, we're saying Mr. Knight was Mr. Frost's son? Correspondents don't mess around with stuff like that. Or the cops, not the correspondents. They would have made sure before handing it over. And we were looking for somebody connected to the IS-7 incident who played correspondence chess, right? Wait, so our secret string puller is Bronco Knight? Knight is dead. How could he possibly be involved in our current case? What if he had a body double too, guys? Yeah, inheritance fraud never happens. Totes. Far out. So our only candidate for genius mastermind is a guy who's already kicked the bucket? That's impossible. How can a dead guy be behind all this? It is a little perplexing, but then, who else could it be?
Okay. And then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry. People from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place. Okay. Tell me about that.
It does all seem a little too much of a coincidence, doesn't it? An attempt was made on the life of the man who was pretending to be President Wang all these years. Warden Lagarde murdered Bronco Knight while he was being held at the prison she ran. An Excelsius winner, chairman of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, murdered Rosie Ringer. And the more I think back, the more it seems at the time that some mysterious other presence was lurking behind all those incidents. Yes, even from behind bars, it was rather obvious something strange was going on.
It's rather piqued my curiosity, so I thought I'd temporarily regain my freedom and look into things. Oh, there's another statement. They added one. A mysterious one. I did so used to enjoy tapping out my little letters in Braille. Okay.
Hold it!
In Braille? That's how you wrote all of them?
That's right. I have tools in my cell, so...
Huh, so you have to use special tools? I guess... I never thought about it before, but I guess that makes sense.
And what exactly did you write about, if you don't mind my asking? I assume this is ignorance on my part, but I never really thought about the idea of writing in Braille. Like by hand, I guess. I assume he has a tool for it, and that's how it works. But I assume it's not just done with a pen. Because that would kind of not serve the purpose, obviously. It doesn't just pop up on the page. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they have like I don't want to say typewriter, but like some kind of like, you know, you can type into it device that would let it like print out the Braille letters or whatever. Because you could definitely put like things on keys to let you be able to feel them for typing purposes. So. And what exactly did you write about, if you don't mind my asking? Oh, this and that, general chit-chat, the chess moves, of course.
He wrote the chess moves in Braille too? Oh, this is Edgeworth. That's interesting. Speaking of chess moves, how does the piece that you carved yourself move, the dog? Perhaps we can talk about that later. For now, I'd like to know what happened when the letter stopped.
I sat in my cell and tried to imagine where he might have gone.
Okay. No, I still don't get it. Who does he mean? Who's this pup he keeps talking about? Come on, Kay, you're a little behind here. Girl, who indeed? It seems that not even Mr. Canis knows his true identity. What do you mean? We do know his identity. So should we focus on what we do know? That there was a connection between the two of them. I'm particularly interested in how the connection was maintained. It's like they're ignoring all the information I got when I pressed this statement. Nobody wants to accept it. It could be anyone. Okay, well, I had a thing update when I pressed the other statement. So they telling me that I need to present it here because it's now updated because the statement didn't exist before. Because, yeah, there's no braille on this page, right? Printed rather than handwritten. Oh. Okay. I don't know. Let's just present it. I don't... What are you getting at, game? You said you wrote all your letters in braille. Is that correct? I don't mean to be rude, Mr. Prosecutor. But you do know about my condition, don't you? That's odd, because the chess diagram we found in Knight's cell didn't contain any braille at all. Really? But surely that's impossible. How so, exactly? Maybe someone typed Mr. Canis's letters out on purpose? Meaning, there may have been some sort of intermediary between the two of them. So then... Mr. Canis said he wrote his letters in braille, and yet, the letter received by Mr. Knight contained no braille at all. This suggests that there must have been a third party who typed Mr. Canis's letters out. I guess it could have worked out the same way on the flip side too, right? Whoever it was that taken Mr. Knight's letters and turned them back into braille. They could indeed. Okay. Letters from Canis retyped by the mastermind, then sent to Bronco Knight. Well, we are assuming it's the mastermind anyway. Oh man. All these people want to bring me viewers, and I'm like, that's okay, guys. It's okay. I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Canis. Damn, bots are excited for a day stream. Ah ha ha ha. Mr. Canis, the answers you received. They were written in braille too, yes. So some mysterious middle person really was retyping the Bronxter's missives. And the same person might well be our secret string puller. Wait, you're trying to say there's another hidden mastermind behind this whole thing? Yes, we've been saying that for a while, Lang. So who's this new one? Bronco Knight's son, Artie Frost, is already dead. But what if the other child from the incident 18 years ago was actually who we've been looking for? Carmelo Gusto's son? But who's he? Where is he? Oh, is it time? Is it time? I've only been harping on this for like stupid amount of time and everyone's sick of it. If Knight was Frost's son, Gusto's son would have to be. I've known him since we were kids. We were both, well, when both of us were well alone. He doesn't have any family, you see, just like me. Him. But surely not. Larry! Apparently the Gusto bloodline just has so much psychopathy. What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? You're white as a sheet. In your defense, streaming meant you've had to know it for months. Yeah, it's true. Of course. It all makes sense. I know exactly who our so-called mastermind is.
Usually you'd be like, oh, I figured it out, and then a few days later you'd see it. Yeah.
What? But, well, and it's also because this whole thing with the suns is from the third case, and we had a whole other case in between it, you know? It's not like it was like the end of the fourth case, and then we went into the fifth case with it, right? What? Who? You have to tell us! I can hardly believe it, but it's somebody we know rather well.
I mean, I wouldn't say we know him very well, but okay.
The person we've been looking for is...
Everyone experiences psychic damage from realizing the circus is once again relevant. Who can it be, guys? Oh, who could it be? You know, it'd be funny if it was Will Powers out of nowhere. You know what's funny? Will Powers, 25. This man is 25 years old. He actually does fit the age range for this character, too. Out of nowhere. Gender envy on the way if she's still with him. He hasn't been since this game. Anyway. Take that, bitch! It's Simeon Saint! It has to be! The person behind all this! The person who forced the chairman's winner's hand by sending a letter to Rosie Ringer. The person who kidnapped Sean and bugged Kay and myself. The person who did the strangest thing of all. Who drugged Kay and carried her up to the roof of the big building. It was the monster.
What? Did you really just say what I thought you said?
Yes, the monster. That was the key to the unmasking our mastermind. What, Edgeworth? Mo the Clown. Huh? This is the second murder the circus has had working for it. It's probably fine. Oh, I almost forgot. We're doing a new show soon. I'd love it if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be joining Regina on the stage for this one. Oh, look, it's that dude from... That's the one we defended, right? I forget his name now, but Maximilian, I think? Maximus? Something like that. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if 2 murders is low for the circus. Starting to think Capcom hates circuses. Maximilian Galactica. Oh my god, what a name. Okay.
That's right. The very big circus is the biggest, most fun, fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun.
Miss Lloyd, could I ask you a favor?
Who, Lil old me? What kind of favor?
You told us you recorded the sound of the Taurosaurus breathing fire. They all just really hate that bit from Wheel of Time. Proof? What kind of proof? Did you capture something on your tape recording, perhaps?
Ooh, you're good, Ruffles. Sharper than a gosh dang tack. I captured the sound of a big old beastie. Breathing fire is what I captured. Sure did. Like I said, I didn't precisely see the guy, but boy did I hear him.
Can we listen to the tape?
You surely can. Let's see. Now...
That's it. The sound. It must be what I think it is. I have no idea what you're getting at here, boy. My theory has to be correct. The truth about the monster, the identity of the person behind all this, it's all falling into place. I'm glad you know what's going on, Edgeworth. Miss Hart, you saw a giant eye at the window of the storeroom, did you not?
Yep, snap me a picture too, even if you can't rightly see it too well. We can't see it right now, but... Detective Gumshoe! Yes, sir. Your image analyzer. Can we borrow it again? Sure, but... What do you want to look at, sir? This photograph right here. Gotcha. I'm on it. The clue we're looking for must be here. We'll just have to find it.
Okay, well, if we're talking about the monster, it must be over here. There was a zoom button, right? Yeah. Why? I don't like it this close. Oh, is it? Okay, well, let's just poke at the eye and see what happens.
That's... See? I done told y'all the Torosaurus's own dreamed self.
Yes,
It is at last. The monster commanded by the architect of this whole scheme. Monster! Hold it. You're finally ready to admit that he's deigned real, the big bad bull himself? No, because that isn't Torosaurus at all. It's the eye of a different giant beast entirely. Take a look at this, if you would.
Oh, I see. It's a hot air balloon. Okay, sure. I missed that it was a hot air balloon until now.
The Big Berry Circus flyer? Oh, wait, look! You see it, the enormous lion balloon. That's the real monster. The sound Miss Lloyd thought was the creature breathing fire.
Kaiju just always balloons.
Oh, come on. You're really gonna bring me crashing down to Earth like that? That's how balloons fly, huh? They burn gas to make hot air.
It's just really funny because there's a case in Greatest Attorney that is very focused on the fact that there's a hot air balloon in that case. So it was just funny for it to come up here.
They do. And our culprit was able to use that balloon to carry Kay up to the roof of the big building without ever going near the elevator. So this culprit, they've got something to do with the circus?
It's Regina Berry. No.
Circus worker, friend of the Bronxster, son of Gusto. Whoa, 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 you're not serious. You forgot to mention trainee animal tamer. Heh, it's hard to believe. But he's the one who's been pulling the strings this whole time.
The monkey! It was the monkey! He's even pulling his hair pigtails.
That's right. Simeon Saint is the one behind all this. Simeon? But everything? Really? I don't believe you. We trusted him, and he trusted us. You can't tell me that it was all lies. That would be too horrible.
I'm sorry, Kay. Hold it. Who was that? Hey, where do you think you're going, old man Moo? Heh heh heh. Nothing escapes you, does it, young pup? My congratulations, Mr. Edgeworth. But now I know the truth. My business here is done.
What? No! Mr. Canis, wait!
Oh.
Helmet detect!
No!
Damn it, he disappeared. Are you okay, Mr. Edgeworth?
Don't worry, I'm fine, but...
Damn you, Moo.
Are you alright, Sean? I'm gonna protect Cadus by attack. Attack everyone. Yup.
He killed my dad. Moo. He did, right, Moo?
There's no easy way to say it, but... Sorry, Sean.
It would appear that he did.
You won't get away with this, Moo. I'll make him pay, Moo. Somehow, some way, I'll...
No, Sean. You mustn't say such things. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. You have to forgive us both.
I just put the call out, sir. All units are on the lookout for Mr. Canis. I don't mean to hurry everybody, but we'd better be on our way too. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, where do you think we'll find our mastermind?
I suppose you're right. We should go after the mastermind right now. He said he had to practice for a show, which I guess means he'll be at the circus. But before we leave, there is something I'd like to ask you, Agent Lang.
There is what?
Once a beast has been sighted, the next step is to plan its capture. When we arrive, there's something we'll need to try to find as a matter of priority. And Detective, I'd like you to look into something that's been bothering me about Sean's kidnapping.
Edgeworth, Gavel, why are you so worried? Gavel, well, last time you found your dad's killer, you joined his profession. On his way to being a professional killer, yeah. Yes, sir.
I want to help too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Good.
There's somebody I'd like you to try and contact. If Saint really is our mastermind, we're going to need this person's help. Between our many encounters, I never suspected a thing, even though he was right there in front of me. I messed up. There's no other way to put it, but I'm going to put things right once and for all.
We gotta get Regina in on it. To be continued! Oh my god. Save. Later? Oh my god, guys. Are we in Endgame? Okay. April 6th, 5:30 p.m. Big Berry Circus. Berry Big Circus. I'm sorry. Oh god, that's horrifying.
Oh, hi, Mr. Edgeworth.
Did you guys come to watch the show?
Hello, Miss Berry, Mr. Saint.
You're either in Endgame or there's 5 later parts. Don't worry, you're in Endgame. Okay. Oh, he changed his makeup. You're a little early, I'm afraid. We're still practicing. But I'm glad you kept your promise.
Yes, I remembered you giving this to me.
That's so great. You're gonna have so much fun. I think you'll even be surprised, Mr. Edgeworth.
Huh. I think you've surprised me enough for one day already.
Well, Edgeworth cannot just call Phoenix to call up Marvel. Well, I had my chart counter wrong for my entire Let's Play of Wind Waker. It's 49 charts, not 41. I see.
Okay. What are you talking about? Would you mind looking at this photograph, Miss Berry?
Restart it.
That's the paint I painted on the balloon you used to advertise the circus, correct? Oh, yeah. What is this exactly? I have a strong suspicion that the balloon was used by a criminal we've been looking for.
You're missing 18 charts, not 10. Yeah, there's one in every square. There's only 49 squares? Or is like one of the squares not have a chart? Because that seems weird if so.
You do?
Yep, 7 by 7. You right. Okay, my brain didn't. Shh. It's called a square. I know! I'm sorry, I can't do math right now. Or. Okay.
Who's usually in charge of the balloon, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, that would be Simeon. But wait, you don't mean...
Katie is reading mode, not math. Well, the ominous music started.
Mr. Saint, you took the balloon out for a late night, didn't you?
Where is Katie's contract? Does it say she's required to do math? Yes. Thank you, Agent Dill. She has a math mode. I swear I used to be good at math. It was like one of my best subjects. I am embarrassed, okay? Wouldn't know, Sam. I've never seen her need it.
You took the balloon out for late the other night, didn't you?
Sure, I was practicing. I'm still pretty bad at flying it, so I needed to put it in some extra hours.
At night. When it would have been even more difficult than usual. A strange time to decide to practice.
But why else would I have taken out the balloon? What are you saying?
That you weren't practicing at all. You were taking an unconscious K to the top of the big building. In order to frame her for murder of Rosie Ringer. The security cameras never recorded Kay taking the elevator up to the roof, which means she must have gotten there another way, from the sky. And the only person able to make that happen would have been you.
But, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't understand.
That's not all you did. You also attacked Sean at the garbage disposal area, drugged him, and carried him away. That's why you were late for the hearing at the courthouse, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I do any of those things? Please, you have to believe me. I'd never, ever, ever do anything like that.
I wish I could believe you, but I can't. Any trust I had in you has been completely destroyed.
That's horrible. Why would you say that? You told me back in jail. You said you believed I was innocent.
You don't have to worry about that. We're friends.
Simeon, my last name is Saint. That's a fake name. Yeah, we know you're not using your true name.
We know what it's like to be in your shoes. We're all part of the same club after all, right, Mr. Edgeworth? We're all Mayas.
Unfortunately so, I'm afraid.
Thank you for sharing such personal details with us. By the sounds of it, you had little reason to kill Mr. Knight. If anything, you're one of the most affected by his passing. And what's more, I simply don't believe a person as gentle as you is capable of murder. Oh, Edgeworth. Rest assured, we believe you, and we will get you out of here.
This is just awful. I never thought you'd lie to me.
We didn't lie. I swear, Simeon,
You said you knew what it was like to be me. I trusted you. That hurts, Kay. It hurts so much. Dude is going hard on Kay.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. This is Simeon we're talking about. He's not a bad person.
Objection.
I see it now. That's your strategy, isn't it? With everybody. You root out their psychological weaknesses and exploit them. And without even realizing it, they wind up doing exactly what you want them to. Exactly the behavior one would expect from the arch manipulator behind all our recent troubles. Edworth not taking you seriously. Good people totally put teardrops on their face. I was too blind to see it before. But you won't fool me again. Simeon Saint, you are guilty of crimes too numerous to mention.
Oh, so that's how you want to play it, huh? You always did have the courage of your convictions, I guess. Luckily, grinding people's self-belief into dust is kind of a hobby of mine. Oh, he's transforming, guys! Oh. I wasn't ready for the animal tower for him to lean on. That's pretty good. Well done, all of you. This is a goofy transformation. It is.
Well, it seems this certainly is a side of him we haven't seen before. So much for a trainee animal tamer who wouldn't hurt a fly. I guess that was all an act. But I'm glad we're finally getting to meet the real you. Simeon, this can't be true, can it?
Truth lies. What does it matter?
Huh? All you need to know is that Mr. Edgeworth here
Has made me very mad indeed.
and now he's going to pay.
Whoop.
I was out of practicing.
Sure, I went up to the balloon a couple nights ago, but I was just practicing. I guess somebody took that picture when I flew the big building. I fly around the area doing promo stuff for the circus all the time. Nothing to see here, Miles. Nothing at all. So what's the most ridiculous part of the animal stack? Mine's the squirrel. You saw Kefka once completely misunderstood the character. Nah, that cat is letting him lean on it. What has he been doing to the animals on the screen? Princess Donut is disappointed. Yeah. I can't do a Ray Chase performance of the guy from ReZero, but that's kind of the like immediate vibe I got when he transformed. Sister, cousin, Eclair is a disappointment. Eclair. So you go up in the balloon reasonably often. Roswell is not a bad pick. Yeah, promoting the circus, like I said.
Is it true, Miss Berry? Well, it's true that it's Simeon's job to go up in the balloon and spread the word.
You have to do is lilt your words. It's true.
I guess just about everybody in the area would have seen him up there by now.
Well, that's the same balloon was used in the commission of a crime. Nonsense! I just happened to be in the area when it happened. Somebody took a picture when I was floating past the big building. That's all. I'll be the judge of whether you just happened to be near. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's cat, squirrel, and then I think that's a pig snout we saw. Who's I went up in the balloon a couple nights ago. I was practicing. Okay. This balloon, do you usually launch it from here at the circus? No, you need a wide open space. There's a park over by Sunshine Coliseum. That's where I usually take off from. I see. And how do you get the balloon to the park? How do you get the balloon to the park to launch it? I see. I understand. Not by hand, that's for sure. That thing must weigh a few 100 pounds. It's kind of impressive that it can even get off the ground now that I think about it. I'd prefer if you didn't change the subject. How do you transport the balloon? Wow, give a guy a break, will you? It's not like I was getting miles off track. Sheesh. We use a truck, okay? You just load it on the back, and away you go. Katie doesn't have a reading mode either, it seems. Shh. Why are you mean to me? Alright. A truck, you say? Yeah, last time I took it out would have been 2 days ago. That could be important. I'd better keep it in mind. Last time I took the balloon out of the truck would have been then, the day before last. Okay.
Hold it!
Why are you sorry, Sam? So, just to confirm, the truck hasn't been anywhere else since then. Why would you need to confirm that? I just told you, didn't I? Answer the question. Or are you trying to avoid this one, too? Oh ho ho, that was a cheap shot, even for you. If I say something, you don't need to confirm it, because I just said it. See how that works? But since you insist, the truck has been parked out back since the day before last. And the balloon was still loaded on the back, basket and all. Now explain to me why that even matters. Not right now. I think I'll just thank you for giving me a straight answer for once and leave it that. So he means to insist the truck has been parked here since 2 days ago. I think you might have let more slip there than you realize, Mr. Saint. Are you done? All right, as I was saying. Okay, I have a thing for the truck, right? Parked in front of the big building, the driver's nowhere to be found. Look, I treat you like a sister, and looking at our book club pic, I could clearly be much worse. Yeah, okay. I don't understand what Edgeworth is getting at here. Last time I took the balloon out... Oh, because the truck was still there. Okay, I misunderstood what they were trying to tell me there. They were saying, like, the truck...
Objection!
This truck, it wouldn't happen to be blue by any chance. Huh, so what if it is? We happened to see a blue truck ourselves just today. One with a large basket loaded on the back. Was there a large basket on it? I mean, I'm going to take Edgeworth's word on it. If that was the truck you told us about, then your statement about not having moved in 2 days is a lie. It's Emma, guys! Welcome back, Emma! Agent Lang, Emma! There you are, Mr. Edgeworth, at last. I've been trying to find you ever since we wrapped up the case yesterday. Kay sent me a message saying you were here, so I came right away. And I found what you asked me to go look for. It was loaded on the truck in the basket lot. It was loaded on the truck in the parking lot out back. A blue truck. This is how you know we're in the finale, because all the characters are coming together in this one spot. Well. I think that truck might be the one we saw earlier today. In fact, I'm almost certain of it.
Objection.
What? Just because it's blue, like a million other trucks? What makes you so sure it's exactly the same one?
No, I saw it too. It's the same one for sure.
Objection.
Huh? What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? That wasn't me.
Oh, he's a mimic?
Worthless words of a man who can't back up his claims with evidence. Wow, you sound just like him.
Okay. That's a fun little characteristic.
Show me. I demand proof. I must be able to prove it somehow. It's the same truck, I'm sure of it. Huh? What are you doing, Mr. Edgeworth? Why are you touching the truck? The engine's cold, which means it's been here for a while.
Edgeworth, I don't want to acknowledge Phoenix's existence in my game, but also look at this literal and figurative circus. There's always too many characters.
No way, you can tell just from that? What can I use to prove it's the same truck?
Luminol test for blood. That won't work. Fingerprint dusting. Well, it's not going to be a metal detector because the truck's always metal, so I guess the fingerprint... Oh, because he touched it? Is that what we're implying? Okay.
I'd like to have the truck dusted for fingerprints.
Huh? Why would you want to do that?
Because I expect to find a certain very specific set of prints. And if I do, it will prove beyond all doubt that it's the truck we saw in front of the big building. Whose prints will prove that the truck was what we saw? Miles, Simeon, or Lotta Hearts? Mine!
Yours? You think you're going to find your own prints on there?
I do, because I put my hand on your truck when I saw it in front of the big building. Let's see if we can find it, shall we? Emma, could you lend us your scientific skills one more time? That's why I'm here. One moment, please. All ready. Take it away, Mr. Edgeworth. Huh? Huh? Me? Of course. Who else did you think was going to do it? Don't worry. It's easy. I'll show you. Fine. Although I don't see why you can't do it yourself. So just spread the powder over the area you want to search for prints. Like this.
Yeah.
It sticks to fingerprints, so once you've found one, make sure to dump plenty on there. And then blow away the excess.
Blow it away?
Yeah, with your mouth. Ha! Like that.
Except we can't do that anymore because we don't have the DS sub mic. But the X is the blowing in this button. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, right. You got that?
Yes, thank you. Now to try for real.
Oh, and there's no such thing as too much powder, by the way. Go crazy.
And blow.
That's it. That's a nice clean print you got there. Can we compare it to my prints right away? Yep, leave it to me. Ding. That confirms it. It's Mr. Edgeworth's print, all right. And with that, another lie is exposed. No. Oh no, he's got rabbits. So what were you doing in the truck? Oh, just driving around for fun, you know.
Objection!
Kay was abducted 2 nights ago, and your balloon was sighted nearby. Then today, another abduction, this time involving a truck supposedly used to transport garbage. And your truck was sighted nearby.
Objection!
Coincidence, nothing more. You want me to believe that you were near the scene of the 2 separate abductions simply by chance. To be honest, you were involved in just be honest. You were involved in both. What makes you think they were even connected?
Objection!
A certain very important piece of evidence, that's what. Oh, this should be good. What connects Kay and Sean's abductions? No. Oh, right. This has Kay and Sean's name in it, right? Yeah.
Take that!
Kay was drugged with a dose of powerful sedative, and a bottle of sedative was found right where Sean was being held captive. The very same brand, no less.
Objection!
I knew you'd try something like this. So the same sedative was used, so what? Does that mean everything's connected? You know as well as I do, that doesn't prove anything for sure. We must have something. There must be a piece of evidence that can tie him to both crimes. Cops, prosecutors, you, Miles. You're all the same at the end of the day. You force the evidence to fit the crime, or you flat out make it up, just as long as somebody goes to jail. You're no different from a certain other evidence tampering we've had the misfortune of meeting.
Objection!
No, I'm nothing like him.
Objection!
Then show me. Hit me with your killer piece of evidence. You must have one, right? It's no use. We don't have anything that can tie him directly to both kidnappings. Okay. You about done there, Miles? No more cheap shots left to fire. Great. Well, I have a show to be rehearsing for. So, if you don't mind.
Objection!
Eddie to the save! Hey, come on now, you two. There's no need to get all hot under the collar. Wouldn't want you good looks running down your face now, would we, Simeon, old pal? Anyway. What are you sticking your nose in for? Hey, I just sense the vibe getting a little harsh and heavy, yeah? Thought I ought to lighten the mood. Help me out here, Kay. Lift our spirits with a little dose of the good of old great thief magic. You don't have to tell me twice. Okay, let me see if I can do the simian voice. Here goes. Objection. What are you doing? Take this seriously, will you? Thought you could do with somebody running a little interference for you, master. Not the most ethical approach, I know, but again, Kay, again! We can worry about whether or not this is the right thing to do later. This is my last chance to try and prove a connection between Mr. Saint and his crimes. Let's forget the kidnappings for now. Is there anything else that suggests that he is our mastermind? Of course. Canis was looking for a secret string puller too, the young pup, as he called him. If I could prove that Mr. Saint was the same young pup, then perhaps... Okay, but then... I'm so confused. I thought Knight was the young pup. Or they're saying because he was the intermediary. Okay, yeah. Okay. But what evidence do I have that might point to him being involved behind the scenes? Someone wrote this?
Take that!
Okay, apparently that was correct. Good. I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Canis. And that same person might as well be our secret string puller. That's right. Our mastermind was involved in Canis and Knight's correspondence chest exchanges. If I can prove that Mr. Saint was hidden intermediary between the two of them. All right, that's enough. This is getting painful. You don't have anything, and I have practice for the show. So, if you don't mind...
Objection!
Thank you, Mr. Pender. I can take it from here. And I can't take any more of your interventions. Oh, just look at that face. Yeah, I like it. Masserino back in the game for sure. I'm Simeon Saint, this funny clown. Look at me. I'm juggling. Okay, you can stop now. Mr. Saint, you're a fan of chess, I take it. Huh? Where did that come from? Chess, sure. I don't hate it. Our secret string puller was playing correspondence chess with Mr. Canis.
Objection!
I thought Bronco was the one playing chess with Canis. You're saying he was the one. He was your so-called mastermind?
Objection!
No, it wasn't him. Whoever it was went on manipulating events even after Knight's death. Take a look at this letter, if you would. Who do you think could have written it? I believe it was the person who had inserted themselves between Mr. Canis and Knight. And you think that person was me? Why would I go to all that trouble? That's crazy. To make it appear that two men were connected and communicating directly with one another. The very fact that Fifi Lagarde to murder him. What? You're saying that he set that up to try and get Mr. Knight killed?
Objection!
Listen to yourself. What do you think I am? Some kind of evil puppet master? You've seen me. I can barely even get the animals to do what I want. Yeah, okay, dude. If we could find one of the letters he passed between Knight and Canis, that would prove the connection beyond a doubt. I'd like to have your room searched. I believe we might find... Letters, you won't, trust me. What? Once I'm done with something, I put it straight in the trash. I guess I'm not the sentimental type. Why get hung up on the past, right? Ugh. He must have disposed of any incriminating items in order to cover his tracks. God damn it. Stop disposing of evidence. Guess what? You went in without the evidence you needed once again, huh? That's a bad habit, you know. So, this doesn't prove anything either. We've fallen short yet again. What do we do now? Are we out of options? You accuse me of betraying my friend, and you don't even have any proof? You're despicable. Hold it. Who was that? Oh, hi! Oh, it was Regina? Hold it! Miss Mary, what does she want? Sorry, it's just, I was thinking about what you were saying, and this Knight person, you mean Bronco, right? Simeon's friend? Yes, what of it? Does she know something? A letter came from him this morning for Simeon. What?
What did you?
How is that possible? Knight is dead. Da da da. Miss Mary, we need to see this letter right away. Sure, here you go. Let's open it, shall we?
Oh.
It's another correspondence chess letter. The next move from the game with Mr. Canis.
Can anybody smell checkmate? Can't wait to see your face when you lose. But you were never going to beat me, not at chess.
It's postmarked the 26th of March, the day before Knight's died. I guess it must have gotten held up en route. Well, we do move around a lot. It's part of being a traveling circus. Our mail arrives late all the time. Interesting that it's addressed directly to you, Mr. Saint.
I mean, thanks, Barry. You're... Except for the whole almost killing someone thing, you've been probably the most helpful person from the circus.
This isn't it. This is it, isn't it? Proof we needed that you were the one facilitating Mr. Canis in Knight's games. One of the letters you would have transcribed into Braille in order to create the illusion that they were somehow connected.
Curse you, Bronco. You're still getting in my way even now. I hate you. I hate you.
Simeon, how could you? Mr. Knight was your only friend.
We weren't friends. I stopped thinking he was my friend 18 years ago.
Right around the time of the IS-7 incident, in other words.
I nearly froze to death because of him. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I get it. He thinks that he's the son of the guy who died, right? But Bronco has since found out that he was the son of the one who died. Because he has Halik's ring, right? So it's because he has no memory of which one of the kids he was? Is that what I'm getting here? Okay, let's just keep going. I was about to head out and meet my dad at the contest. But then Bronco showed up. He pinned me down and tied me up. He was crying the whole time, whining on and on. I'm sorry, but my dad says I have to do this. And if I don't do what he says, he's so scary.
Stop it! Bronco, stop it! I have to go meet my dad, I promised. I'm not there to taste his candy for him. He'll be so upset. He needs me. If I don't go, he won't be able to show everybody he's the best in the world.
But no, he locked me up in the car with him, and the two of us nearly died. He thought he could get out, but when he tried the door, it was frozen shut. We were trapped. How long did it take for you to tie him up? And that's how I lost my dad.
What? You lost your dad?
Okay, catch up, guys. Yeah, Bronco's dad killed mine. He was the son of a murderer.
What does he mean? That doesn't match up with what we know at all.
Simeon, the victim of the IS-7 incident, was a guy named Artie Frost.
Yeah, that's my dad's name. My memories got kind of scrambled that day. What little I remembered was pretty mixed up. So I didn't find out until later that my dad was murdered.
The murderer was a man named Carmelo Gusto, a confectioner.
Really? I never knew Bronco's father's name, or maybe I chose not to remember. Just thinking about the sicko that killed my dad turns my stomach.
Mr. Saint, are you sure you didn't know the name of the murderer until just now?
Do you think I'd sit on it if I did? No, I'd have reported him to the police straight away. All I knew was that Bronco's dad tricked my dad. And that's how I knew my dad was the one who was killed that day. Bronco was a traitor. He helped his father, murder mine. He was the son of a cold-blooded killer. He deserves to die.
I'm sorry, Mr. Saint, but you've made a mistake. A big one.
A mistake? What do you mean?
Artie Frost was the sculptor. He'd been working in France not so long before the murder, under the name Paul Helique.
So I hear, but I don't remember anything about that. I wish I could.
Well, I'm afraid it's only natural that you don't, because he wasn't your father.
Huh? Is this your idea of a joke? Well, it's not funny. Not at all.
You're right, it's not. But you need to know the uncomfortable truth. This piece of evidence proves that you're not Artie Frost's son, because you don't have the ring. He has the ring. Let me find the frickin' ring. There's the ring.
Huh? Bronco's chess set and a ring.
Yes, take a look at the ring for me, if you would. What does this engraving on it tell you?
It's 2 letters, right?
It is. This is the seal with which Paul Helique used to mark his works. And it was found next to Artie Frost's body 18 years ago.
But why would Bronco have a memento of my father?
The police looked for Frost's son for a long time, and eventually they found him. The ring was handed over to a man they were able to prove was his child, Bronco Knight. I'm just wondering how the police proved that. Like, did they have a DNA sample to test it against? Because it was a case from 18 years ago. So, I don't know, man.
What? But that's not... That would mean I was...
Precisely. That you are, in fact, the son of Carmelo Gusto.
No, that can't be. I'm... My dad was... I remember, don't I? Bronco tied me up and locked me in the car. It was his fault I lost my dad. He deserved to die, didn't he? Sorry, Simeon, but the murder genes explains it all. Explain it all.
No way, so I'm getting to see you in your circus thing even though I'm in jail? Heh, was looking forward to the next move in our little chess game, so the show is just an icing on top.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
I will. Hey, come back soon, okay? I'll be mulling over my next move in the meantime.
Oh my god, they were friends. They were actually friends. Well, one side was friends. Oh, speaking of which, I put a little something in your chess set. But you can take a look at it later.
Little something. No idea what that might be, but thanks.
Not that I have any sympathy for Bronco. He was kind of an asshole, and he did kill someone. If you hadn't detained me 18 years ago, it wouldn't have had to end like this.
Huh? Did you say something?
Me? Oh, nothing. Goodbye, Bronco, and farewell. I did all that, and now you're telling me that it was my father who killed Broncos? Then what was all this for? I didn't want to wind up dead, too. I didn't want to be weak and vulnerable. That's why. I tried to be like Canis. Why I stayed in touch with him all these years. Your dad killed Broncos, and you killed Bronco. Yep. It's a generational combo.
And there we have it, the truth at last. Mr. Saint, you were Mr. Canis's correspondence chess partner. And you were the one manipulating events this whole time. You're right. It was me. It was me all along. At last, he's finally telling the truth. Oh. We got some kooky music now. I was the one who witnessed the murder 12 years ago, but you knew that already. Ah, son of a bitch. The president's assassination, just as we thought. Which means he's the one who drew the picture. And they knew it too, that's why. Lagarde kept questioning me, day in and day out. It got so I couldn't face what I knew the next day would bring. I was a nervous wreck. Who could blame me for wanting to get out of there? But I imagine it wasn't as easy as simply running away. Winner would have sent his men after you. No matter where I went, they were on me. They never stopped coming. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I couldn't sleep all night. Even the smallest noise had me chasing shadows. Drove me crazy. So I joined the circus. At least that way, moving from place to place was part of the job. My whole life's been up against the chief prosecutor and the warden of the prison. No regular person could hope to stand up to people like that. From time I was a child, I had nobody. But they weren't even the worst of it. The body double was behind it all, controlling everything. He may have been a fake, but he was the president of the entire country. What hope did I have? There was only one person I could turn to, Canis, the man who saved my life. He wasn't like Bronco. He really did want to help me. That's quite the claim. Strange to think that our famously ruthless assassin, winning the admiration of a child he saved. He showed me how to stop being a victim, to stop being hunted, and to become a hunter myself. And they all became my prey. But I doubt you even imagined that the body double would ever go so far as to co-opt our country's police. No, I sure didn't. As long as Mr. Winner was around, no evidence was ever going to stand. He even nearly managed to ruin things this morning. Lagarde almost got away with it again. But I know him now, like the back of my hand. I could see exactly how it was going to all go down. So we saw right through their plan. How Chairman Winner would try to suppress the evidence in Warden Lagarde's trial. I see. That's why you kidnapped Sean, correct? Simeon upgraded from his lame one-time murder dad to true professional murder dad. Yup. You wanted to force a guilty verdict, regardless of the presence of evidence or a rule of law.
Objection.
Maybe I did, but how else was I going to make them pay for what happened 12 years ago?
Whatever helps you sleep at night. But Winner pulled one last surprise, didn't he? He tried to kidnap Sean himself in hopes of influencing the verdict. In other words, you chose the exact same course of action as the man you so fervently claimed to hate.
Objection.
That's only if I'd actually kidnapped anyone after all. At all. But I'd never do anything so wicked. Never, ever. Me commit a crime? No, 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 no. Besides, I don't hate the three of them. If anything, I'm grateful. If they hadn't done what they did, my revenge wouldn't have been nearly as fun.
So you admit it. Your motive in all this was nothing more than revenge.
Sure, I admit it. So what? I despised every single one of them. But here's the kicker. I didn't kill anybody. The most you can blame me for is writing the odd letter here and there.
A quick note to Ringer to tell her about Winner. Another to him to so he knew about her. But the fact that they wanted to kill each other and one of them succeeded, that was all of them. So you take no responsibility for the fact that your actions resulted in multiple murders? Right. Same thing at Gore Lake. People are much too easier to control than animals, you know. The whole fake assassination plot, I handed that to Bronco on a plate. That was part of his plan too. So Rook's murder was...
Objection.
No. That was all Bronco's idea. Nothing to do with me at all. Still, it moved things in the right direction, wouldn't you say? Isn't fate a crazy thing?
You can't talk like that about a murderer.
Setting Lagarde up was easy too. I just made it seem like Knight and Canis were in contact with each other. And slipped the chisel inside the chess set.
So it was you who put it in there.
Yes, it was. I thought that might point everybody nicely to Canis's direction. Worked out well, even if I do say so myself. Who knew that would be all it took to make that awful woman murder poor Bronco? I guess she got to where she isn't, where she just saw enemies everywhere she looked. I know the feeling. Even the smallest thing can send your paranoia into overdrive. And then things get ugly quickly. I had a front row seat to the whole show. You were the last piece to put into play, of course. Who, me? You solved both cases. Finally brought down Winner and Lagarde. I guess you could say your powers of deduction were the weapon that put an end to both of them.
Objection.
I didn't solve those cases for your sake. Sure, you didn't know you were doing me a favor. You were just playing at being an attorney for a little while, right? What did you say? All I had to do was come over and say no a few times. And you rode to my rescue like the hero you are. Was getting arrested part of your plan too? No, that wasn't something I expected, I have to admit. I never thought they'd take the chisel for a murder weapon. That was the real plot twist. Made my blood run cold, for sure. But then who should come through with the turnabout at the end of all turnabouts? The greatest legal mind of his generation. My knight in shining armor. Damn. Sometimes I get distracted looking at the cat's dead eye stare. It is pretty, strong, I guess is what I'll say. I bet it felt pretty good saving me like that, huh? You ought to thank me, you know. I don't do that for many people.
You're wrong. He wasn't playing at being an attorney. He was trying to help you, because helping people is what Mr. Edgeworth does. He helped me, right when I needed it most.
Okay. Oh, did he? You're sure he wasn't just trying on his dear departed daddy's shoes for size? It's on so much catnip. The void stare.
No, that's not what he's doing. Come on, K-Meister. Don't let this clown get you down. He's projecting plain and simple, painting other folks with his own grubby brush.
Wow, that's a stab, Fender.
It's not just that he doesn't trust other people. Poor kid doesn't even understand the concept. Doing something for somebody else's sake? Forget about it. He'll never understand.
You think I care what you have to say about me? Consider this for a second. I've gotten my revenge on everybody I set out to get it from. And yet... Oh, we doing an actual testimony? He was just going on and on. Like, most of the time they, like, clam the hell up, right? It's really funny because, like, in the first case, that guy, he couldn't try to get away fast enough. He kept trying to be like, hey, time to go. This guy's like, nah, I want a soliloquy. I mean, fitting, really. You can't prove I incited anything. Think about it. I never actually did anything. What was my crime exactly? Explain it to me. He isn't a performer, yeah. You think you can pin an incident, incitement charge on me? I can speak. Read my letters. I don't mention murder anywhere. If I did, maybe you'd have a case. Maybe you could say I encouraged them. But it's the same story as always, I'm afraid. You can't prove anything I did. Also, better than acro.
That's not true. You kidnapped me.
Sorry, but did I miss the part where you proved that? All I ever admitted to was sending the letters. Letters which didn't threaten, coerce, or encourage anybody to do anything. I just passed on what you might call pertinent information. Okay, but you did kind of confess. And you're in a room with cops and lawyers. Whatever. I just passed on what you might call pertinent information. He's slippery one, I'll give him that. We cleared the highest bars.
There's gotta be something we can do. What about this?
He confessed to mostly shenanigans, I guess.
What about his excitement stuff he's talking about?
Incitement, Kay. It means to encourage or direct another person to commit a crime. In the eyes of the law, it's seen as the equivalent to committing the crime itself.
So we just need to prove that he told them to do it.
You say that like it's going to be easy. Yes, maybe you're not so big on due process after all. You think you can make me carry the can for the murders I had nothing to do with? Think again. I don't even have to talk to you if I don't want to. In fact, why am I still talking to you? Oh no, he heard me. I can think of one reason. Tent's surrounded. There's nothing left, nowhere left to run. Really? You don't think I planned my escape too? What if, just to pluck an idea out of nowhere, I train all these vicious wild beasts to attack on command, for example? All I'd have to do is say the word, then sidle off stage in the chaos. Now that still should get him slammed, but this is Ace Attorney world, so yeah. What? You wouldn't. I'm just spitballing, but you'd pay to see that, wouldn't you? I could just as easily take Sean hostage with a gun I may or may not have in my pocket. Yeah, you know what? That would make for a killer show. You'd do no such thing. It's hard to know what lengths he might actually be prepared to go. Damn, Simeon has old 5e conjure animals on tap. What a monster. But knowing what we know about him already, we have to prepare for the worst. Fine, I'll humor you, but once the curtain goes up on this little performance, it better be a lively one. Bore me and we'll be done here, all right? Let's see if you can keep me entertained, shall we? Oh man, that's a big penalty too. Hey, he's not gonna give me an inch. Let's be cowards and save. Squirrel with a gun. What a ridiculous concept. All I have to do is commit a crime, and then I'd be able to get away without you proving I did a crime. Yay, cowardice. But there must be something we could do. We can't let his crimes go unpunished.
Okay, so I think you can pin the incitement charge on me. Read my letters. I don't mention murder. If I did, maybe you'd have a case. Maybe you'd say I could encourage them. But it's the same story as always. I'm afraid you can't prove I did anything at all. Okay. Okay, this feels like I need to look through my thing again. Okay. So we have these letters that we know we're pretty sure he wrote these. Thanks so much for helping with my plan. Get what we want. Good luck. Get revenge. That doesn't really... Yeah. Okay. Movie locks. Behind the scene photos. Taurosaurus head. Taurosaurus plushie. It's recording. The recording has nothing to do with what's going on right now. Shows President Wayne and Judge Gavel. No, that doesn't have to do with this. Hart was in the floor room. Filmed yesterday in the evening to show the... that won't have anything. It's his truck. It's the gloves. That's winter stuff. The incident from 18 years ago is just this stuff. Yeah. So much evidence. There is a lot of evidence. Is it this? You're right, darling. There's some connection between Knight and Canis. As you know, we've been trying to find out who they're playing the correspondence game. Well, now we know. Well, that doesn't... No, because that doesn't... That's not him being like, murder them. I assume that's what they're getting at. Recording signals intercepted from the bug that was planted on Kay's pin. Okay. Kay was kidnapped and the bug was on her pin. And Redcoat planted the bug. Can we not listen to the thing? I forget what the signals were. Were they like... Did they help us figure out where things are? Was that how they found Sean? We think he's Redcoat. Redcoat's the one who talked to us through that. Through the bug. And then Tabby got interference from it. Kind of, yeah. That was when you were... The mastermind was talking to you.
Objection!
Let's try this. Okay. I'm afraid you're wrong. I have proof that you meant for at least one murder to happen. They really should let you see the conversation. They should, because I don't really remember it. It's weird what times they let you see that stuff and when they don't. Because you said it so yourself. Yeah, there's something I need to tell you. Truth is, I was the one who made the big old bad chairman winner kill little Miss Rosie Ringer. Okay, yeah. What? Oh, I said that. Weird, I don't remember. I know you think you can worm your way out of everything. But this time you're wrong. I am. Yes, because our conversation was being recorded. By somebody intercepting the signal from the very listening device you planted. It was. You got the conversation with the clown here on tape? That's what you're trying to tell us? No! Ling Shi says.
Schemer's scheme will swallow him in the end.
Miss Lloyd, could you play the tape for us, please?
You bet I can. Oh my god, my charge cord. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. My computer was fading. I can tell I'm fading a bit too, but I'm like, I feel like I'm so close to finishing this case. Oh my god. Maybe I'm not. Maybe there's just like 10 more testimonies.
You bet I can. Got it. It was this part right here.
I don't know.
Mr. Edgeworth, that's Judge Gavel's cell phone.
Who's this? You're the one who abducted Kay.
I can't hear Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry. It was right around here.
Surprise.
It was as surprised. I was as surprised as.
Huh? That's weird.
Is something wrong, Miss Lloyd?
I'll say, seems we maybe didn't quite catch the next part on the tape. Ahem.
Uh-oh. There's like 2 to 3 more testimonies. Okay, that's not too bad, maybe. I don't know. They talk a lot in between. What?
Why? How could it not be there?
Oh, poor babies. You think I'd leave myself wide open like that? Well, think again. There's something a little special about this bug, you see. It can be turned on and off remotely.
What? I never knew they make those.
Remote control bugs? Sure, they exist, but...
So you switched it off to avoid being recorded?
Bingo. There's also a bit of an epilogue. Yeah.
But how? You would have had to know you were being recorded in the first place.
Objection.
And I did. Of course I did. Okay. God, how much time do I... Okay. It was so obvious that someone was eavesdropping, and that's because... Miss Lloyd, was it? You knew about the kid prosecutor's kidnapping without any prompting.
No. You heard the whole conversation.
I did, old pal. But I must say, I thought you would have figured it out much sooner. There's definitely at least an hour or so of stuff left. Okay. Aren't you supposed to be a genius, prosecutor? No. I'm trying to debate if I have an hour in me or if I should stop now and just do the finale next time. Because I can tell that my voice is dying.
It's frustrating because I can feel how close we are. But I also want to enjoy the, like, ending of it. You're better off stopping. You're probably right. Let's at least finish this little bit of conversation before we stop. Now, where were we again? Oh yeah, the part where you couldn't prove the incitement was it's all game over. Oh well. Gurk.
Ah, shucks. So my tape ain't gonna be used to nobody after all. Come on, I must have recorded something you can use.
If only that were true. Alright. I like... So we're probably gonna go into a whole thing here, right? Yeah, okay. I think for my own ability to keep surviving, I think I'm gonna save here. And then we'll dive into the ending next time. Because I can start to feel like my body is like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, I fed you before we started. And it's like, yeah, but that was at lunchtime. It's so frustrating. We're so close. Okay. Thanks for joining me, everyone. I'll see you guys next time. Ta-ta for now.